So now I have the pleasure of interviewing members of the Reverberations who are here in the studio with me after their amazing live performance. And I'm just going to be asking them a few questions about Nuggets Night. So here we have Dr. Bob Fountain, who is a KPSU professor. I'm sorry, not KPSU, but PSU professor here at our wonderful school. And we also have Dave, the lead singer and songwriter and guitar player for the Reverberations, and Cam, who is the bass player. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello there.
Hello. So you guys have performed at Nuggets Night many times. I believe the event started back in 2007, something like that?
Yeah. The event has been happening since before I can remember. Cam and I are fairly young, and I remember seeing it advertised but never being able to go because we were underage. So we've played the last 3 Nuggets Nights, and always been involved in somehow either volunteering or playing.
Okay.
So yeah, it's.
So Dave, what is your favorite memory from Nuggets Night?
Well, I gotta say, the first time that I played with John and Ian from the band, we did a little one-off project one year called Cry of the Shadow Animal, and that kind of spawned into our other band, the Howard Things, which then kind of spawned into the Reverberations. It was all just a love for the music that we were playing at Nuggets Night, and so we decided, we wanted to play some originals in that influence, in that vein, and so that's my memory. Like, we wouldn't be here unless for Nuggets Night. We have Nuggets Night to thank for the formation of our band. So.
Right on. Yeah, so I've noticed there's like this whole subculture in Portland growing around Nuggets Night. There's these hootenannies that I'm getting invited to. There's movie nights and 60s themed events with DJs playing music and people wearing psychedelic costumes. And I understand there's even a Nuggets Night road show going on where you guys are traveling up to Seattle to play tomorrow night. So that's pretty cool. What would you guys say is so great about rock and roll from the 1960s, and why are so many people getting involved in this kind of nostalgic movement?
Yeah.
Well, the Nuggets album was actually released in 1972, and it covered a bunch of garage rock and psychedelic rock from the years 65 through 68. The guy that compiled it ended up playing in a famous band. His name was Lenny Kaye, and he played in the Patti Smith group later on. Oh. And on the liner notes for the album was one of the first in-print uses of the phrase punk rock. So
wow.
Lenny Kaye cited this as one of his influences, and you could tell that it influenced a lot of later, late 1970s, early 1980s punk rock bands. The Ramones have cited it as one of their influences. The Damned, I saw them last year. They actually called out several songs from that album that were an influence for them. And in fact, one of their probably one of their biggest hits was a song called Alone Again Or, which is a cover of a song by a band called Love, who incidentally is headlining this year at Nuggets Night.
Yeah.
So this garage punk from the late 1960s, which morphed into garage psychedelic, which then morphed into a heavier psychedelic, was responsible for the surge of punk rock it was one of the influences of the punk rock of the late 1970s. And I think that what it was doing then is still valid today, and that's why it's never totally gone away.
Right on. And I would like to say I was at that damned show as well. It was great.
I saw you at that damn show.
So some of you guys are in your 20s, I understand. Why do you think that young people, and especially college students, should be interested in Nuggets type music, 60s rock? Like, why should college kids care?
Well, with the punk influence, I think college kids have a natural spirit of rebellion, and that kind of goes hand in hand to you have to challenge the system to change it, and especially with our political climate, I think punk is very alive, and recognizing the roots is important, so it's all relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Cam. Anybody else have anything to contribute to that?
That's, Cam pretty much said it all. You know, it's important to know your history in some ways and learn from your history and, you know, cite it as an influence or just, you know, I don't know. Yeah, what Cam said.
Well, I know when I was a teenager, I used to love listening to my mom's old 45s and all the old music, and I love it too. So it's good music, and it's still alive and kicking, and I think it's great that we're keeping it going. So I do want to mention that this event is a benefit for the Queer Rock Camp, and I want to just talk a little bit about that really quickly. Queer Rock Camp of Portland is an empowering summer camp that engages LGBTQ youth ages 12 to 23 in musical self-expression. The week-long camp creates opportunities for at-risk young people to pick up instruments for the first time, attend social justice workshops, form bands, and write original music, culminating in a triumphant showcase concert. And Julie Madsen, who's one of the Nuggets Night co-organizers, has said that the youth served by Queer Rock Camp face some of the toughest conditions in our community. Most of their families can't afford music lessons or other summer camps, and some have even lost parental support after coming out. By connecting these kids to the therapeutic benefits of music, Queer Rock Camp PDX can make a real difference in their lives. So I was wondering if you guys had anything to add as to you know, why this camp is important, or why you think it's a good idea to be playing in benefit of them.
I think Nuggets Night from the beginning has always had a good cause, and it's always been for, I don't want to say that, the underdog is kind of a weird way to say it, but, you know, communities that don't get as much support as they deserve. You know, and kind of like Cam was saying, especially in this political climate, it's very important to keep those people close at your heart, and do whatever you can. You know, I mean, for us, we're just playing a show, and that's the least we can do. You know, so anything that helps anybody, you know, is great. In my opinion.
Yeah, and there is a different beneficiary every year.
Yeah.
Last year it was the Jeremy Wilson Foundation, and the year before that I remember it was Kissin' FM, which was really cool. So this is a great event in support of a great nonprofit.
Exactly.
So this is going to be your first Nuggets Night performance with Dr. Bob on the keyboards.
Doctor.
Yeah.
So how great is it to have a PSU math professor in your band?
On a scale of 1 to 2.
He's a 2.
With 99% confidence,
Yes.
I'd say you're great.
He's great. He's fantastic. We've evolved musically since he's joined the band, and it's been great. Great having him. Great having him. We're starting to write together. That's something that's really getting me excited about the future. So.
And he's shaking the maracas as well, I noticed.
He's an auxiliary percussion as well.
We're now a math rock band.
Statistics.
Just kidding.
Well, we are. We have a song that will debut at Nuggets Night that certainly has some math rock influence in it, but we can't tell you what it is yet.
Woo.
You'll have to come to Nuggets Night to find out.
That's right. So I just want to thank you guys again for being here, the Reverberations, and I also want to thank Katie, who was here making a video. And Thanks, Katie. And I want to thank Lee for doing the sound here at KPSU.
Thank you,
and
Lee.
Charles for bringing me some coffee.
Yes.
And all of you guys in the band. Did you have anything else you want to say about your music, or?
Shout out to the Masters in Statistics students that actually showed up for the in-studio performance today.
Extra
That's
credit.
right.
I just had a thing to add. If you're interested in going to Nuggets Night, the Mission Theater is setting aside $75 $10 tickets for the Friday night show only. If you want to go to the Friday night show, which is all the local bands, you can get there early and you can get a ticket for $10 flat. After that, you're going to have to pay $15. If you want to buy a ticket beforehand, if you don't want to risk paying that extra $5, you can go to Specs Records and Tapes in the Kenton neighborhood. Or you can go to Pink Moon Facials, Skincare, and Lashes, who are also selling tickets at cost with no service fee. It's $10 for Friday, $15 for Saturday, which is the show with Love, and $25 gets you a weekend pass. So,
Nice.
And that includes, I think, the movie night on Sunday at the Hollywood Theater for
It does
something
indeed.
weird, something weird video.
What movie are they showing?
Hippie revolt, something hippie exploitation movie, I'm sure.
Okay, and remember, this is all in support of a great cause, Queer Rock Camp PDX.
Exactly.
All right, guys, thanks so much for the interview. I'm going to play a few more songs from a couple of the other Nuggets Nights bands, and thanks for being here on the House of Sarcasm. Rock on.
Thanks, Christine.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
KPSU.
much.
Thanks.